Today's episode was brought to you by Interiors by Stephen G.
For women, success is an entirely different game. Our goals are huge, and so are our responsibilities. There is work and there is play, health, friendships, and romance. The question is, how do you call all the shots and never lose sight on what it means to be a woman? Each week, Elena Cardone and Katrina Campins bring you topics, discussions, and tips with women in power who are going for it all and making it happen.
Welcome to another episode of Women in Power. We are interviewing a dear friend of mine today, Zulay Henao, and she's actually on set in Los Angeles. She'll tell us more about this with my co-host here, Elena Cardone, at Elena Cardone and at Katrina Campins. And you can tweet to Zulay at Zulay_Henao. Right? That's your Twitter.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Score now. I'm here. Can you hear me?
There's a little bit of an echo. Let's see.
I just heard it. Yeah, so it's Zulai_now on both Twitter and Instagram, and I'm on it frequently, so
hit her up.
So you're on the set of what now?
I just flew into Detroit last night. I'm on the set of a film called Destined. It's an independent film produced by Tommy Oliver, who is an amazing producer, and the director's name is Kasim. They've had a great run at Sundance last year with the film that they did, and it's a really interesting film about the decisions that we make in life, how ultimately they shape you. So the reason I wanted to do this movie is because my character, I'm playing a dual character, so I play, a version of her that has made all the wrong decisions with men, love, with her life in general. And then I get to play the better version of her, where she's made better decisions, where she's being smarter and, got an education and is doing great things with her life. And I think that's a beautiful thing to put on screen. I think it's necessary. I think it'll definitely be good dialogue starter, because it's what happens in life. We know that every action that we take has a reaction, and I think making a film about that I'm just so excited. Today's the first day. I have not shot anything yet.
Oh, well, congratulations and welcome to your first day as set. So yeah, you were just mentioning that you played this character who made a lot of decisions, and then now you get to play the second half of where she has made better decisions and choices in her life. I'm wondering, they say in your business, life imitates art and art imitates life. Is that particular story something that you have personally experienced?
Without getting too personal, I think that this is something that we all experience. I would say yes, because, there are decisions that you make in life that lead you to certain places. And here's the thing to remember, though. The mistakes that you have made in the past don't necessarily shape who you're going to be in the future. If you're smart and you reflect and you see where past decisions have taken you and you make changes, you can come back. So the end of the film ends up where the two characters now come together, and the person that is formed is a hybrid of the both. It's a hybrid of all the mistakes and all the lessons and how you're making smarter choices. So it's not a negative place to be. It's actually a really positive place to be, I feel.
Yeah.
Well, it's been amazing. I was telling Elena in hair and makeup that it's been amazing to see you evolve as a woman, because we've known each other for how many years now? It's been, I want to say it's been a few years. And I remember seeing, and I've seen you evolve as a woman, and I think you
like how? Like, tell me why.
Like when we first met, when I was in, and I was telling Elena, Lady Gaga's manager had flown me out to Los Angeles because he was going to manage me, and again, that didn't end up working out. But I want to say that was like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even more. And then we met through a mutual friend, and we ended up, going to a producer's birthday party together, and we've been dear friends ever since. And you're such a beautiful woman, and you have so much going for you, but we as women just all go through our own struggles, you know?
So
And
you experienced her having struggles?
absolutely. And, and now I see her evolve.
Like with men, finances, not with your career?
You know, I think Katrina and I spoke a lot about a relationship that I was getting out of at the time. And, you know, sometimes I feel when you fail at, especially relationships, or you feel like you're failing at work, it's very easy to kind of go down a negative place. And Katrina's always been so positive. So having those conversations with her so early on, I just really wanted to be her friend. And she did hear a lot of, you know, just my relationship stuff. And, you know, just being in LA, and I had just moved there during that time. And this work is challenging. You know, you have to create really, and it sounds so cliche, but there is a sense of strength and a harder shell that you have to kind of cover yourself with to maintain yourself strong, to maintain, you know, a smile, and to maintain happiness through it all, because there are extreme ups and downs.
As far as rejections, have you ever had a disappointment where you really wanted a role and didn't get it?
Yeah, I mean, those come all the time. I've had, you know, just last year I had a huge disappointment. I booked the role. I shot the pilot.
Which show? Which show?
Celebrated. It's called, well, I can talk about it. It's fine. It was called Happy Land on MTV. And we celebrated. We got picked up. We were going in for our first season, and I got recast in the show.
Oh my God! Okay.
And, you know, I was with my family. I was running the New York City Marathon the next day, and I got a phone call with 5 people on the line saying, this is probably the worst news you're ever going to get. Because as an actor, that's like a really cool place to be, where, you know, you're finally going to be on a show that is, you know, on for a couple of seasons. So it was a really hard hit. It was the best thing that could have happened, because that set me up for just other things. And I'm on another TV show now that I absolutely love, that I feel is more.
Hold on 1 second with that thought. We're going to take a short break, and I want to pick up that story right where we left off.
Regardless of your home situation, tax bracket, or way of life, our goal is simple: to improve your quality of life and lower your expenses. With over 30,000 satisfied customers and guaranteed power production for 25 years, it's time to invest in your future. Let's harness the sun together. Visit AmericanVisionSolar.com today.
For over 30 years, international interior designer Stephen G is a world-renowned master of contemporary and traditional high-end design.
To me, lifestyle and comfort is what a great design project is all about.
Interiors by Stephen G has galleries in Florida and New York. With staff fluent in 7 different languages, Interiors by Stephen G offers a full-service experience from construction to completion. Visit Interiors by Stephen G at Facebook or his website, interiorsbystephenG.com. That's interiorsbystephenG.com to get started on bringing your design fantasies to a level beyond your dreams. Visit interiorsbystephenG.com today. New York Times bestselling author and self-made multimillionaire entrepreneur Grant Cardone has partnered with the Hard Rock Hotel to bring you 10X Your Life at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun. Reward yourself as you play hard at this all-inclusive luxury experience, and you'll work hard participating in Grant's seminars live on November 14th and 15th. These unique seminars were created to help you learn to 10x your finances, 10x your social media, 10x your business, and 10x your life. Visit 10xseminar.com to book your 10x experience now. For rates starting at $463 per night for 3 nights. Seminars, meals, and beverages are included. Stop settling. 10x your finances, reach your dreams, 10x your business, and 10x your life. Take action and go to 10xseminar.com now to book your 10x experience at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun.
Thank you. You are watching Women in Power on Whatever It Takes Nation. We have an amazing guest today who is telling us a fantastic story about how about how in Hollywood she was cast, shot the show for a series that was going to go and was about to do a marathon and received a phone call with 5 people on the line telling her that she's about to get the worst news she's ever had. So Zulai, we're here with Zulay Henao. Can you please continue with that story? I mean, I was like hanging. Could she not hear us right now?
I don't think she can hear us. Can you hear us?
Zulai? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Oh, she can't hear
us.
All right, so we're going to have to improvise this for a minute. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about Zulai, which I think is like completely amazing, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Okay? And Zulai, this gorgeous specimen of a being that you've been watching and hearing from in the first segment, actually belonged to our military in the Army for 3 years. I'm like, how does this beautiful woman go from like the Army to like movie star? I mean, that to me has just like blown my mind. Okay, I just got the thumbs up. We are back with Zulay Henao. And Zulai, take us back before the break to where you are now at the marathon about to receive the call that you are gonna be recast. What do they say? Let me guess, we're going another direction.
We're going another direction. Here's the thing, I had, there was something I always felt very weird. They had a girl that was playing my daughter that was was supposed to be a lot younger than she actually was. So it was actually for the best for the show and for myself. But it was a terrible phone call. They called and they said, we're going a different direction. This is the worst phone call you're going to get probably ever. You know, because I'm used to rejection, but this is like another level rejection. This is, I got the job. It's, you know, a whole other thing. But I ran the marathon anyway, and I feel that the reason why I ran that marathon was to get me through that blow.
Oh,
because
for sure.
I didn't want to run this marathon. It's something that God put in my spirit, and I kept trying to push it away, and he kept coming with the emails, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I am not a runner. The last time I ran was in the Army. I'm like, I don't want to do this. So finally, the day before, the last day to sign up, I signed the marathon. Long story short, I run this marathon, and my mom tells me before we get there at 4:30 in the morning, mind you, it's November in New York City. And I'm like, what are you going to tell me to make any of this better? She's like, you're going to find out something about yourself after you run this. And what I found out was, guys, that I could do anything that I want to do. We can do anything we want to do. I ran the marathon in 4 hours and 57 minutes.
A full marathon or a half marathon? Either way, I'm blown away.
A full marathon. An angel came to me as I was running it and told me that her mother had passed away of cancer and that her dying wish was that she would run the marathon without stopping. I'm like, you got the wrong girl. At mile 2 on the Verrazano Bridge, she's telling me this. And I'm like, not going to be me, but we did it. And that was the lesson. That was my lesson. And it was, you have to let go. You have to be okay with things that are not meant for you.
Well, you are definitely a whatever it takes chick, and I'm so glad that you mentioned Army, because when I was researching you, I found out you've been in the Army for 3 years. So, I wanted to thank you for doing that for our country and for us. And
what inspired you to do the Army?
How does that happen?
This is the best interview ever.
How does someone like you, drop dead gorgeous, go from Army to, well, I can understand movie star, because that seems more like, that makes sense. When I look at you, I don't think Army.
Yeah, it was really unconventional. I will say that it was not the most conventional route for people, but I loved it. My parents were immigrants. You know, my parents were immigrants from Colombia, and you know, when they came here, it was really hard on us. You know, we had financial hardships. I By the time I graduated high school, I'd gotten accepted into a few colleges in Massachusetts, and I just didn't have an academic focus at that point. I wanted to be an actress, and I didn't have money for college. We just didn't have it, and I was at school one day, and I saw these recruiters there, Army recruiters, and I just started listening, and I went to the Army, and I got the college money that I needed. But it was more than that. It was more than college money. I did things there that I never thought I would do again. Like, I shot all sorts of guns. I crawled on the live fire. I traveled to Central America to work at orphanages as a translator. I just did so many cool things that I probably will never do again. Right. And it just teaches you discipline. It really, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. So it teaches you to live in a completely different manner. And what it does is it just prepares you to just be ready for anything. So
do you feel like that helped you gain how to be more secure as a person in life?
It gave me a different vantage point and paradigm of the world. I, before then, didn't know what real poverty was and what people who don't have anything and what they have to go through to eat every day. So having those experiences and going to Central America and seeing people that were so less fortunate than I was, and seeing all the gifts and all the blessings in my life, even though I was in the Army getting money for college, as I thought in my young mind, I realized that life, the world is so big, and I have so much to offer, and that if I am going to be there, then I'm going to make the most of it. And I took all of that with me, and I kept telling everybody, I said, when I leave here, I'm going to move to New York City, and I'm going to be an actress. And they would laugh at me, and I'm like, I'm telling you, this is
going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to do it, because now I know that my time is mine, and we all do with it what we please. And
was it difficult being as obviously so gorgeous as you are, like with the men in your?
It was, but not in the way that I think you're thinking. It was because
did they? I mean, I would think that they would
I was
bully.
Capable.
They didn't.
They nicknamed me Goldie when I first got there. They didn't think I was capable. What that did to me was it just made me want to be better at everything. So I ran the fastest. I would sign up for the only thing I didn't do was go airborne, and thank God I didn't do that, because I don't think that I could have survived through that. But yeah, it was hard. I had to really prove myself. And then, there's the obvious, it's a base full of mostly men, so there's challenges, but you
made you stronger. Well, I have more questions when we come back from the break. One of the questions I want to ask is, do you think of yourself as a woman in power? And I look forward to hearing from you. You're absolutely just amazing to me. You're watching Women in Power. Stay tuned.
First direct mail sale we had in helping us sell over 200 new Lexus in one weekend.
We have established relationships with some of the best dealerships in the nation.
When you work with Hamlin Associates, John is from the automotive business. John has a really good grasp of what it takes to make a sale successful, and John is very much worried about your return on investment.
Let us help you go to the next level.
Hard work demands the highest price. Auto dealers, do you sell your notes? Are you disappointed with your current lender, your price, or your service? If you need capital now, we are the answer. Use our nationwide network of lenders. Trust us with your portfolio. Expedite your cash flow. With over $120 million submitted in 2014, we'll deliver. Dealer Capital Services. Visit mydealercapital.com or call 337-451-6921 today.
We're back with my dear friend, Hollywood actress Zulay Henao. And before we were going into commercial break, we asked you if you felt like you were a woman in power.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I mean, I think you're a woman in power.
Me
and
too.
I was just telling Elena that I've seen you evolve, and it's just such an amazing thing to see you. I mean, it brings such a smile to my face. You're so grounded in your faith and who you are, and now you're working so much, and that's another question I have, is do you feel that getting to know yourself so well has really worked to your advantage now, and getting all this work, but also being able to execute with all these roles? Because I feel like you're working left and right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, thank you, Katrina. I believe, I think of the word power in a lot of different things. I think power is having confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence comes from knowing that you are you're divinely connected. None of us can do anything wrong. We were given gifts. And when you understand that and you live in that, it's the most amazing thing in the world. Before, I used to be a little insecure. Even when I went to set, I'm like, oh, I wonder if, no, I'm not the best I'm going to be today, but I'm good enough and I'm going to get better.
Wow.
So that having those thoughts and understanding that I am a work in progress, that I am growing, that I'm evolving every day, gives you confidence. And I think that's what power is just loving yourself.
How do you handle your nerves? Like, let's say you have this big screen test, or you show up on set and you're doing a big scene opposite pick somebody, And like, I mean, do you ever find like your legs might be slightly trembling? Or
I used to feel that way a lot. And that all came from not believing that I was enough.
Mm-hmm. So what changed? What was the defining moment where legs don't shake one day? I mean, legs shaking to one day to the next day. No, I believe in myself. Was there one incident that changed that?
Yeah, you fail miserably. I didn't work for 2 years. You fail miserably. And if you're not okay with going through that and picking yourself up and looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, you are enough, and we can do this. You have, here's the thing is that if you go like the screen test you just mentioned, if you're in a room with certain people, you're there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We're here talking to each other for a reason. There's never a place where you should feel like you're out of place or you don't belong. Nobody's above you or below you. You're just there, and you are probably at a different growing or place in your where you're evolving in a different pace. But once I learned that and I understood that, I'm not saying I don't get nervous now. I still, we're all human. We have anxiety about things. I'm anxious today. It's my first day in a new job, and I just came here from another set. But everything you just handle in the moment. So when I go to set today, I'm going to say, okay, this is challenging, but I'm here for a reason, and this person can potentially live in me. I can potentially feel everything this character is feeling. So why don't I just put all the nerves aside and let that be what I'm thinking about?
And how has it been working with Tyler Perry? Because it seems like he loves you.
He does, and I love him back. Well, Tyler actually told me one day when we did the movie, when I did Single Moms Club with him, he said, you know what, Zulai, sometimes I feel like I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So he's helped me a lot. He says, once you realize that nobody in the room is better or lesser than you,
wow.
I think you will begin to live in a more powerful and more connected way. And now I'm on the TV, like I'm a lot better on the show than I was on the movie, and it just continues to happen. You continue to grow, and it feels great.
You are so inspirational. I am so excited to have you on the show. Do you ever run into being on set? Like, I know this is a big issue just in general with women right now, that women for the same job might not make as much as a man. Do you run into that in your industry? And do you just not, does it bother you? Or are you
I've
just
never
like,
talked about the male aspect of it. How do I feel about that?
well, I mean, look, as an artist, I think, I don't want to speak for you or put words in your mouth, but I know as an artist, when you're doing your art and something you really love and someone is paying you like what seems to be a lot of money at the time, it's very hard to not be grateful or to look at somebody else's and
that's where I'm struggling in answering your question, because I don't want to be ungrateful.
That's
at
right.
the end of the day, we all want to be recognized for our work, both whether you're in our field, which would be publicly through our peers and our fans and stuff like that, but you also want to, not just make ends meet. You want to have a beautiful life. So, there are things that you do because you love that piece of that, because you love that character and you love what you could potentially say to an audience through it. And there are things you do because you just want to go and get a nice paycheck. I respect both. I think what you're talking about, the men making more money than women, I think that's across the board, right?
Yes, it is. It's issues right now in the economy, and certainly it's up to a political level. We're not a political show, but I mean it's got that much spotlight on it right now, and I know. I mean, it's everywhere, but it is in your business in particular.
For sure. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not here, and I mean, there's nothing for me to feel positive about. It just has to change, and I think the more that I work and the more grateful, and I don't want to focus on the negative. I will be okay. I will be more than okay.
I think also, just women in general. It's like it's you get paid on your asset to the company. If you're an asset in a sales environment, you should be getting the equal commissions as a guy. And if you're more valuable, you should be able to walk into the office and say, I want a raise, and this is why, and you can prove your statistics and your stats.
Your track record and your stats, right.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as an actress. Like if you're going to be, in a movie with the biggest male movie star in the world, and he's getting more, well, yeah, he might have a longer history, and you know what I'm saying? So it is a little bit different, in your business too, because it's like you also have to look at are you running, or are you the lead, and everybody looks at ratings and
play into it. There's so many factors that play into it. Credits and are you the lead of the movie?
That's right.
Everybody getting a favored nations deal. I always try to just stay focused on the artist aspect of it and trust that all those things are coming and that they're being set up as we speak. So
Zulai, what is your dream role now?
My dream role, I want to talk to you guys about something. I wanted to always do a biopic, and I'm doing one, or I'm set up to do one. I'm set up to do the Vanessa Del Rio biopic. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her.
I don't know what the word biopic means. Do you? A biopicture?
It's basically, isn't it a movie based on someone's life?
Yeah, okay, a biopic. Okay, pic
that's
meaning picture.
Much where I want to go, because I feel like there's less creation and imagination, but more so somebody's real life. I've always found that really intriguing, to go into somebody's life and try and depict it as accurately as you can. That, I think, is real amazing acting. So
have you been cast? I missed it because I didn't know what biopic meant. But
I'm meeting with Vanessa Del Rio this month. She was... Don't be afraid. It's actually a really beautiful script. She was a porn star in the 70s. So it's about it's about the film industry during that time, and New York City being what it was, all these things being taboo. It was the start of the AIDS epidemic. It was just how dirty that time in our history was, with drugs and everything that was going on. And it's about her relationship with her parents. It was about her relationship with men, love, her father. She had imaginary friends. So there's so many
layers.
What a dynamic,
complex places to go with her. I'm just so intrigued by her. So I'm actually traveling to New York in 2 weeks to meet with her, and I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm sure take you to a whole nother level as an actress as well because of all those layers. And
Right.
how do you feel now, given where you are, looking back, when your romantic relationships, how do you approach those differently now?
Oh, well, here's the thing, acceptance. I can't tell you how much I've learned in the last 2 years. We each, I can sit here and we can all sit here and talk about somebody else's faults and what they're doing wrong. We're not supposed to be here to change people. And I think in my relationships, that's how I've failed. If they didn't, I feel like if certain things didn't fit in what I thought was my perfect way of that person being, then it was wrong, and that was wrong of me. So I think relationships should just be handled with love, kindness, and acceptance. Be accepting of other people, how they are, and if not, then you just move on. But that is, I think, where true love starts. You have to just accept. I want to be accepted as I am, and I think we should all do the same for others if we want to be in a loving relationship with them.
And do you feel that women could have it all, that they can embrace their femininity and you can continue to be a successful actress and be a good wife and have children? Like, how are you going to balance that all?
It's challenging. I was just looking at some pictures and I saw these things, who says you can't have it all? You can have it all, but I think it takes a very intelligent, grounded, realistic person to have it all. Having it all, we're talking about having an amazing career, having a husband, having kids. Women who stay home every day with their kids and their husbands go to work, which is a beautiful thing, they have a hard time balancing that. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine adding all? So it's going to take a really mature, honest, and open person. I only pray that I will evolve and grow into that because I want to continue working. I want to have a husband and I want to have kids. So I'm hoping and praying that God is putting all these experiences together for me to make me capable of that, because I do want that. But I think it just sounds really beautiful to say, I think women can have it all. They can. It's a lot of work.
I am beyond impressed with you. You've given our listeners some wonderful insights today. I know we've had a little bit of technical issues over here on our end hearing you, so I want to apologize to the listeners for that. But so very grateful to have you on the show today. I can't thank you enough. And with tomorrow being Veterans Day, Katrina couldn't have picked a better guest for our show.
Right?
It just happened, right?
It's tomorrow.
Veterans Day.
It's Veterans Day. Thank you. You are technically a veteran.
Thank you so much. This has been so awesome. I'm so glad we made it happen. And thank you to everyone who listened. And I'm so grateful and blessed that people would even listen. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, you really gave our listeners a lot of insight, and we're really going to be excited to watch your career. I'm certainly going to be watching. I know our listeners are going to be watching. So thank you. This is at Katrina Campins. Follow her on Twitter at Zulay _Henao is on Twitter, so make sure you follow her as well. I'm Elena Cardone. You have watched an amazing episode of Women in Power. Thank you, Katrina. You're watching a Whatever It Takes Gal on Whatever It Takes Network. Thank you so much. And lastly, if you have not purchased your tickets to the 10X seminar in Hard Rock, Cancun, just do it. I think there's a couple days left. We're leaving this Thursday. We'll be there through Sunday, so make it down for that if you can. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week on Women in Power.
New York Times bestselling author and self-made multimillionaire entrepreneur Grant Cardone has partnered with the Hard Rock Hotel to bring you 10X Your Life at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun. Reward yourself as you play hard at this all-inclusive luxury experience, and you'll work hard participating in Grant's seminars live on November 14th and 15th. These unique seminars were created to help you learn to 10X your finances, 10X your social media, 10X your business, and 10X your life. Visit 10xseminar.com to book your 10x experience now. For rates starting at $463 per night for 3 nights. Seminars, meals, and beverages are included. Stop settling. 10x your finances, reach your dreams, 10x your business, and 10x your life. Take action and go to 10xseminar.com now to book your 10x experience at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun.